Welcome, my dear student. Welcome you again. This is Jamal Hussain, Assistant Teacher, English, Kumila Modern High School. Uh, this is my second lecture or second class on this topic. Fill in the blanks with clues for English grammar part, question number 1. And in my last class, I have discuss with you about several parts of speech and their position of a sentence or position in a sentence, especially noun, adjective, verb, and adverb. I have also mentioned you to do well in this question or in this item. You have to learn these parts of speech very passionately, and you have to learn also the use of articles, use of appropriate prepositions, and because in these 5 or in these 10 words, the words that will be given in your box, will get article, preposition. So you have to know the rules of them also that I have mentioned in my lecture 1. So for answering this question, you have to learn you have to know the position of parts of speech and their use in sentence, articles, preposition, I should say appropriate preposition also, and you will get appropriate preposition in every grammar book you read or you would like to read. So today I'm also going to discuss about this grammatical item. Now I'm writing some sentence with gap. Look at those gap, and I am going to fill up. Now I'm giving you the word now. Look at the word. One, two, three. Now how can we use these three words in the gap? Now look at the first gap. A poor dash had three daughters. There is Ori, Seek, and Man. So after the gap there is a verb had, and before that there is an adjective. So you can use a noun. You have to use a noun here. So what is the noun? Man. Man is the noun here. Four men had three daughters. They loved their father very much. One day, one of them became. Look at the. You have to first of all you have to look at the sentence, and then you have to think which one is missing here. Then you have to. If it is a verb, if you think about a verb, there may be a noun. You have to convert it into a verb. Then there may be you may need to use an adjective. There may be a noun. You have to convert it again, transform the word, or from the word from adjective into noun, or noun into an adjective. That's why you have to complete this. Now they loved their father very much. One day, one of them became. Now became is a verb. In my last class, I have discussed, and you can use adjective after a verb also. And became. Now sick. So you can use here sick. One day, one of them became sick. For this, the old man became very. Now, here the word is Ori. Now, became is a verb, very is an adverb. Now, we have to use an adjective here. Ori is a verb here. We have to convert this word, transform this word into adjective. Became orid. It's an participle also. So you have to transform. First of all, in answering this paper or in answering this question, first of all you have to remember look at the word and which parts of his speech they are. Then you have to look at the sentences and their gap, and before the gap and after the gap, which parts of which you can see. Then you have to decide which word is missing. Then I will use it according to the meaning of the sentences. Okay, I think it will be very benefited for you. Now I am giving you a task, and I think you will be able to complete it. And please, you will pause your video for 5 minutes. Then you will complete the answer and match it with my answer. Okay, now I am giving you the task, and then I will discuss the answer, why the answers are correct and why you have to use those words there. Look at the box first. About. Between. Of. Basic. No. Educate. Almost. Right. Wheel and light. Wheel. Light. L-I-G-H-T. Light. Now I am writing the passage also. Education removes our ignorance and gives us there is a gap a dash of knowledge. In respect, there will be gap also dash imparting education there should be dash discrimination. Dash men and women of education is one of the dash of our human rights. If we deprive women of the gap দিয়ে আমরা write number F of education dash half of our population now H, there will be gap, then it is followed after the gap, remain in darkness. No development can be brought there will be non I, there is a gap without the participation of women. So the government is doing everything. For to teach the women folk. Okay, now I am giving you 5 minutes. Just pause your video for 5 or 6 minutes. You can pause the video, then write down the answer from this word, from the box, and fill it. Then you can match it with my answer, and I will describe why the answer of this gap will be that one. Okay, so please pause the video for 5 minutes and complete this task and match your answer with my answer. And I'm going to define why the answer of the respective gap will be the respective word. Okay, I think you have completed your task. Now match your answer with my answer. Look at the sentence. Education removes our ignorance and gives us the gap, then it is followed by of. Look at this. It's an article here and it's the preposition. As we have mentioned, as I have discussed with you in my first lecture of this question, that if there is a gap and it is followed by a preposition, and before that if there is an article, you have to use a noun here. Now which noun you will use? Look, try to understand the meaning of the sentence. Education removes our ignorance and gives us the dash of knowledge. What is? It gives us the light of knowledge. Now look at the word light. Light is a noun here. Light of knowledge. Now look at the in respect gap, imparting education. Now it's a you have to use a preposition here, because it is after the preposition there is you can say it's a verb with ing form. If then you have to use a preposition here, because you all know after preposition if you use a verb you have to use an ing with the verb. You have to use ing with that verb. So in respect of, we have to use a preposition here. Imparting education, there should be gap, and this gap is a long C. Dash discrimination, it's a negation. There you have to use a negation here. There should be no discrimination. Now try to don't write the answer only reading the first or second line of the question. Try to read the whole passage first, then try to understand which theme is it discussing. Try to understand the theme also. Then you will be able, I think, you will be able to answer it very perfectly. Then there should be no discrimination. What? Men and women? Between man and women. There is between also. We have written the between man and women. Education is one of the dash human rights. Now education is one of the what? And you all know after article you can use a noun here. Basic human rights, or you can use basic human rights. If you deprive women of the dash of education, again the first one rules, the use of noun that I have discussed with you, it is the gap is followed by a preposition and it is preceded by an article. So you have to use a noun here. Okay. Deprive women of the right of education. If we deprive women of the right, then we have to use right. Right is a noun here. Okay. Then again there is a gap. If we deprive women of the right of education, dash half of our population. Almost. You have to use an adverb here. Almost half of our population. Adverb of quantity. Okay. Almost half of our population dash remain in darkness. And it's a conditional sentence. Look at the sentence. If we deprive women of the right of education, almost half our population, then it's an first conditional sentence, and the first one, the structure of the first sentence is if plus present tense, then it is would be followed by a future or present tense. Then in that case you have to use will remain in darkness. New development can be brought. New development can be brought gap without the participation of women. Here you have to use a preposition, brought about. It's an appropriate preposition, or brought about, without the participation of women. So the government is doing everything to, as we have discussed about the use of verb in a sentence, then if there is a to, it will be mustly followed by a noun, or you can use a verb here. Then here the verb is educate. So the government is doing everything to educate them, educate the women folk, educate the women folk. So this is the answer, and I've discussed why these answers will be here, and you can learn this in this way. If you try to understand anything without giving a jerk here, then it won't be possible for you to do well in this paper or in this question. So I am at the end of my discussion also. Again, I am requesting you to do these question very effectively, to complete this question, or if you wish to learn this paper well, you have to understand the parts of speech and their uses in the sentence that I have discussed with you in my lecture 1 of this question. Then you have to use know the rules of article, appropriate preposition, and then you have to know about their use in the sentence. First of all, you will read out the whole passage, then try to understand the theme of the passage. And after that, after understanding the theme, you will start to know the meaning of the given word. Then you can use them perfectly in the gaps. After putting any word in the gap, you have to understand the meaning of the sentence. If the meaning of the sentence is not clear to you, then you have to be careful that it may be wrong. In that case, read the sentence again and try to put the right word in the right place. So it is only practice that can help you in this regard. As we all know, practice makes a man perfect. So I think you will do practice more and more, and it will be very beneficial for you all. And as we all know, practice makes a man perfect. I will told you again, I will ask you to practice more and more, and in this way you can remember those rules. Don't, as I have mentioned in my first class, don't try to memorize the rules. Try to remember the examples by which you can do well in your exam. So thank you very much for your patience, and I am at the end of my class. I am again requesting you to stay at home and not go outside. Stay fine and stay safe, and watch our classes regularly, and inshallah all of you will do better in your upcoming exam also. Thank you very much.